Welcome, everyone. We are proud to announce to you this webinar on starting a Seal of Biliteracy program at your school. We're going to get started. So I'm going to ask my co-presenter to introduce herself, please. Christina?
Yes, hi, good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to be presenting here with Candy. My name is Christina Santiago-Campbell, and I'm the Assistant Principal for World Languages and ELL at Brooklyn Technical High School. I've been an Assistant Principal here. This is my 5th year. And I just want to share that my first year, we started the SEAL program here, the 2019-2020 school year. We had 20 students. Earned the seal 2020-2021, we had 57. The following year, 72, and this past year, 98. And we hope to continue increasing. Thanks, Candy.
Thanks, Christina. You can see why I invited my co-presenter to present with me. She's got a lot of great experience. So my name is Candy Black. I am your World Language Associate in the Office of Bilingual Education and World Languages at the New York State Education Department. And one of my responsibilities is to support Seal of Biliteracy programs. Like Christina, before my current life, I was also a world language teacher, and our schools were one of the first schools to pilot the program for the state ed. So we are happy to offer this webinar to you. As I mentioned, we are recording this webinar so that people who are not able to attend today can watch it. You will receive a certificate documenting your attendance, and you'll get this handy little digital badge to add to your portfolio at the end. So we do have an electronic handouts folder. I will be emailing everyone who registered for this webinar with this information, because I realize that you may not be able to capture it right now. But in the electronic handouts folder, you'll find all of the resources that we are providing to you during this webinar. They are also available on our website. So fear not, you have multiple avenues to get the information that you need. Christina, can you start us off?
Sure. So what is the Seal of Biliteracy? The Seal of Biliteracy is an award that recognizes students who've attained a high level of proficiency in 2 or more world languages, one of which must be English, by high school graduation. We also have some students that, other than English, they can get it in 2 or 3 world languages. All right, so let's start with the why. When you're starting a program in your school, offering the Seal of Biliteracy, well, a multilingual and multiliterate population has the potential to enhance academic achievement, advantage intercultural competences, boost economic competitiveness, improve intergroup relations, strengthen national security, and leverage inequities in societies. And in all of our slides, you'll see some of the current SEAL earners from last year. I'm sure you've all heard of ESSA. This is something that's the Every Student Succeeds Act, and it also determines part of the college and career readiness measures that all schools in New York State are measured by. And the New York State Seal of Biliteracy carries the highest weight on a school's readiness measures, on par with the New York State Regents Diploma with Advanced Designation and Advanced Placement and International Baccalaureate exams. If you're in New York City, it actually shows up also on your school report, how many SEAL earners you have. Students are provided with, at no charge, an official seal on their diploma upon graduation, a notation in the program for their graduation ceremony, a medallion to wear at graduation, and a certificate. At the national level, every year we've been increasing more and more states offering their state seal of biliteracy. And currently 49 states plus the District of Columbia offer a state seal of biliteracy. New York was second only to California to adopt this program. So we've been offering the seal for quite a few years now. Just some statistics now, looking at New York State, 2022, 2023, more than 420 schools across the state offered the New York State Seal of Biliteracy, and this is a great increase of 13% from the prior year. More than 8,700 students earned the New York State Seal of Biliteracy statewide. However, less than 3% of New York State high school graduates earn the seal. So we still have some work to do. And we're happy that you're here today to learn about how to implement this in your own schools. To help your students stand out from the crowd by earning this distinction. 2022-2023 languages. In 2022-2023, students earned the New York State Seal of Biliteracy in 86 different languages. That number increased from 68 languages in 2021-2022 school year. Here we see an image of the second student in New York history to earn the seal in English and 4 other world languages. This has been increasing every year. More than 250 students earned the Seal of Biliteracy in 2 languages in addition to English, and more than 10 earned it in 3 languages in addition to English. So here there are 5 stages to support in implementing this program. The first one is planning, followed by recruitment of staff and students interested in pursuing the seal, implementation, celebration, which is important in order to keep our numbers growing, encouraging these students, and reflection. So here we have, it's part of the guidance toolkit that you can actually get on the NYSSB OBWL website as well. What is the planning stage? So the first step is to form a Seal of Biliteracy committee. And who are these members? You should have an administrator, a guidance counselor, a world language teacher, an ELA teacher, an ENL teacher, and any other members that would like to support you. SBC members read the New York State Seal of Biliteracy handbook to ensure that students are getting every opportunity to earn. That is usually planned between August and September. Communication of the program, September, October. Advertise the seal to the school community. Establish points of contact for students, parents, and stakeholders. You can send emails through daily announcements, even have a meeting and share with parents. The recruitment stage is the identification of qualified cohorts and plan development. So identify who these students are that are interested in applying for the seal, and also encourage students that maybe they're not aware that they are candidates as well. Developing rubrics for both the world language and English presentation, which the state actually does provide some exemplars as well. Creating a timeline and beginning plans for students' recognition and awards. Notification, this is very important. By December 1st, you should notify Candy and NYSSB of your intention of offering the seal. Now, just to keep in mind, if you work for New York City, this goes through Jill Schimmel, and she's also sending out emails, and she communicates directly to Candy and NYSSB, as New York City is its own district. Student application, scheduling an advisor around December or January. You can start working with students, submitting applications, and matching the seal candidates with teachers or advisors that will support them through this journey. And finally, January and May, the student evaluations, where students prepare for their presentations and also deliver their presentations to the panel. So just to kind of simplify it a bit, the major steps. Select someone, which may be one of you that are here today, to serve as seal coordinator. Establish the committee, with all of the members we mentioned previously. Raise awareness among the whole school community. SBC, World Language Teachers, ELA, ENL, recruit students to participate. Don't forget to submit your notification form by December 1st to the state. And again, just to reiterate, New York City, you do it through Jill Schimmel. SEAL coordinator and culminating project advisors begin monitoring the process. Students begin to present. The SEAL coordinator submits the end of year data form to the state, and then you will receive the seals to put on the diplomas and medallions for students to wear during graduation. So who can earn the seal? Everyone has the opportunity to earn the seal, right? Students from any New York State school, this includes public, charter, non-public, for example, religious and independent schools, those who are graduating from a high school with a Regents diploma, and those who can demonstrate a high level of proficiency in English and at least one other world language. One question that many people ask, do we have to offer the language in the school? No, we do not. This can be a language that students speak at home, or they've learned or learning outside of school. And the Arburns are here to support us in finding in less commonly taught or spoken languages, people that are volunteers or staff members that can support the students in earning the seal. So just a little bit of data of who are these seal earners in New York State right now. 60% never else, whose home language is English. Generally those who study a world language in high school. Currently that's the highest number that we have. 14% never else, whose home language is not English. Those are students who speak another language, our heritage language at home. They may study it in school. 7% are English language learners, students who are currently working to achieve English proficiency in school. And 19% are former or ever else, students who have achieved the required level of English proficiency to exit L status. Now, when we look at this chart, you can see, and this is just, when we look at it, it kind of represents the largest number of languages that are spoken in New York State, but there are many more, right? But there are more than 200,000 current ELLs in New York State, all grades. There are even more former ELLs and heritage language speakers. These students are ideal candidates for the Seal of Biliteracy. And these over here represent the top 10 home languages of ELLs. So how does a student earn the seal? They must complete the requirements of the New York State Regents Diploma and earn 3 points in English and 3 points in a world language. And this is where I like to clarify. I always say it looks like when you're getting a driver's license where you need the points to check off the points, what you have there. But these are the most common paths, right? Students can earn any combination of 3 points, and every school is different. We have different populations, but any combination of 3 from each side can help the student earn the seal. We have highlighted the most common pathways. And it's also important to note that the culminating projects are worth 2 points, as opposed to the others are worth 1 point. So any combination. How to earn points in English? Well, one of the main ones is score 80% or better on the English Regents exam. Earn an average of 85% or better in English 11th and 12th grade courses. And we also have assessments, approved English assessments that can help a student earn another point here. And these are some examples. We have advanced placement exams in English language or literature, the International Baccalaureate exam, in English language or literature, TOEFL, Apple, and Stamp 4S also are approved examinations. And now I will leave it to Candy, where she will explain to you how to earn the points in English presenting a capstone project.
Thank you, Christina. So as Christina noted, there are 2 points available on either side, meaning either language, that students can earn by presenting a project that demonstrates they can communicate. And for English, that needs to be at the intermediate high level. Now, in brief, for those of you who are not world language teachers, that means that the student can speak in strings of sentences, almost at the paragraph level. So if English is their home language, this will be pretty easy for them. The project is something that's very popular across the state and does not have to be a separate project. So we really want to encourage you to think about streamlining this SEAL work. The students can take a project that they have done in English class or are doing in their current English class, and as long as that project has a written component and can be presented orally, that project can be used for the SEAL. There is no reason to create a separate project for this. So this is a really good transition point to talk about the culminating project in general, because Christina went over the English criteria, and I'm going to segue into the world language. So the culminating project, again, is worth 2 points, whereas all of the other criteria are worth just 1. It can be done on any topic that's of interest to the student. It has to have a written component because we are evaluating the students on all 3 modes, including presentational writing. It must be able to be presented orally. If the student uses sign language, so they can also do that for their world language. And we encourage you to embed this into already existing coursework. This provides a great deal of teacher support and means that the project is not a lot of extra work for either the teacher or for the students. As Christina mentioned, New York City DOE schools that are district schools have additional guidance and suggested themes and topics that are available for the culminating project. And those are linked there on the presentation that you will get. Keep in mind that this is part of the New York City DOE system, and that if you want to access this additional information, you will need a New York City DOE login. If you're not in the DOE, though, you really have free reign in terms of what you would like to have your students do projects on. So let's segue into how these projects are evaluated. Christina referenced a suggested rubric. So NYSSB provides you with the rubric you see in front of you. There are 3 pages to this rubric. This is page 1 because there are 3 modes of communication: interpretive, interpersonal, and presentational. What you see in front of you is the interpretive section, where you're evaluating students' ability to understand, interpret, and analyze what they hear, read, or view. Notice that the target performance level for intermediate high is highlighted. You can also see that each proficiency level has a simple, easy to understand I can statement to help the interviewers evaluate student performance. There are rubrics for English as well as our most common languages. These are Spanish, French, German, and Italian. We call these category 1, 2 languages. But there's also a similar rubric for all other modern languages. These are categorized as category 3, 4, including languages that are taught but generally do not use a Roman-based alphabet, like Arabic, Chinese, Greek. And we also have a rubric for classical languages. Now, you may be wondering, my school already has a rubric for our project. Can we just use our own rubric? The answer to that question is yes. For English, you can use whatever rubric you would like. For world languages, because we recently adopted brand new standards, your rubric has to meet the criteria that you see on the right. Both of these rubrics are available on our website. On the right, you see the rubric to evaluate school-created rubrics, and it gives you 5 points. The other 2 are on the back page that your rubric must adhere to if you'd like to use your own. You also have the opportunity to use the suggested rubric. And again, New York City DOE district schools have their own rubric, and you can access that at the link on the prior slide. So Christina covered how you earn points in English. Let's talk briefly about how you earn points in a world language. You can get a point by earning a grade of 85 or better in a world language course at the Checkpoint C level. Now, generally, Checkpoint B is 9th and 10th grade, and Checkpoint C is 11th and 12th grade. So a student could get an 85 in, say, Spanish 4 as a junior, or if they didn't get the 85 in Spanish 4, they could try again and get an 85 in Spanish 5 as a senior. We also have approved world language assessments available for 100 or so different languages. And as Christina said, there's a number of vendors that we have here on the page. On the left, you see the list of English assessments that are approved. Christina already talked about this, and this is right from our handbook, by the way. You can also see the second column gives the minimum score required to demonstrate the proficiency level. So for instance, a student would need a 3 on an AP English exam to get a point. They'd need a 4 on an IB exam, a 6 on the stamp, an I5 on the Apple, or an 80 on the TOEFL exam. By the same token, you can see on the right, we have some of our world language assessments that are approved for use with the Seal of Biliteracy. Now, remember I talked to you about there being different categories of languages. In short, the National Defense Institute has rated languages in terms of their difficulty for English students to learn. And so we've categorized those languages and we've set different proficiency levels required for that. So you'll see if the student were taking the Apple exam, the first one listed, in a common language like French, the minimum score required would be I5. If, however, they were taking one of the languages that is designated as more difficult to learn, such as Mandarin, you'll see that the minimum score required is an I2. Again, these are all listed in our handbook. And we have assessments available in 111 languages in addition to English. Now, just like with English, students can present a culminating project that demonstrates they can communicate in the world language at the required proficiency level, and that's why it's such a popular option. Now, we have lots of resources that are on our website and that we've also put in our Google folder for you. And I'm going to go over just a couple of them so you know them. The seminal document for any school looking to start a SEAL program is the SEAL Handbook, a picture of which you see in front of you on the screen. This will cover the criteria to earn the SEAL and will list the various assessments available in both English and other world languages, and is essentially a collection of more than 100 frequently asked questions, and you can see in the inset photo how that works. This is absolutely required reading for any SEAL coordinator, especially those starting up. Now, we also have developed something called the SEAL Guidance Toolkit. This is a series of 8 different modules designed to walk a new school through the process of implementing the SEAL over the course of one academic year. So you would look at the module 1 in September or October, and then each module after that would be something you would tackle in the next month based on the whole process. I would highly encourage any of you interested in offering the SEAL either this year or next to consider viewing module number 1. And these modules are designed for you to either watch the video, which is a PowerPoint process that is talked through, or you can actually download the PowerPoint and share it with your Seal of Biliteracy committee together. We also have what we call our SEAL one-pagers. These are single-page documents, front and back, that are concise briefs on the SEAL, taking the perspective of various stakeholder groups. So you can see the big one in the back is students, but we also have one-pagers for counselors and administrators, for families, for teachers, for culminating project advisors, and we also have it for the panel of interviewers. These concise briefs take the stakeholders' point of view and answer some important questions like what is the SEAL, how does it benefit students, and what questions the person in that particular role might have about the SEAL. We encourage you to download these and perhaps make them available to your faculty and staff. You could also download and print them and make them available for events like open house or some kind of parent night. Oh, before I move on, I want to make sure I point out, we do have a link on the bottom for parents, the family version and the student version. We have these one-page briefs available in the top 10 languages of our English language learners. So if you need this in Spanish for families or students, if you need it in Uzbek or Urdu, these are all available on our website. We also have something called a Wakelet, which if you're not familiar, is a free online content curation platform for various resources in different languages. This was put together with some of the embassies in New York City and is a wonderful resource both for your students working on the SEAL as well as your world language teachers. Now, another resource you might be interested in, especially if you have to sell this program to your faculty or to your Board of Education, is the SEAL annual report. This is a very detailed document that gives you an idea of all kinds of data on the SEAL for the last 5 years. So those reports are all available online. If it is too much, we also have short and sweet infographics that you can present. We anticipate the one for 2023 will be out shortly. The ones you see on your screen are last year's. So you'll see the first one is the state snapshot of the SEAL. The middle one is a snapshot just for the mid-state region. So we have these for 7 different regions of New York, and it's in a nice graphic format to help people understand. If you want to dive into your particular region, we also have regional reports that are about 12 pages long that you can get an idea of how the SEAL is performing in your region. Now, the other benefit of the regional reports is you can see a list at the end of the report of all the schools that offer the Seal of Biliteracy. This is also in the main report. So if you want to find out what neighboring schools in your region offer the SEAL and potentially reach out to those schools for assistance, that is there for you. We also provide digital badges for SEAL schools. So you'll get a badge for each year that you offer the SEAL. We also have some milestone badges. So after you complete your first year or your 5th year, we provide badges for students or for schools, who have students that earn the SEAL in 2 or more world languages. And we encourage you to use this freely on social media or school website or communication with families. Now, we do have a support group for schools that are interested in offering the SEAL, that are currently offering the SEAL, or are just planning to do so. And it's called our SEAL Forum. It is a monthly meeting that is held via Zoom after school, and it offers guidance and support on the SEAL, as well as the opportunity for you to network with other coordinators, to ask questions, and to discuss innovative solutions. Attendance is completely voluntary. You will get CTLE credit for any meetings that you do attend. And again, they're via Zoom for 1 hour, 1 Monday of the month from September to June. And I will send you this with the join link should you be interested. As Christina mentioned, there's also a network of support for the Seal of Biliteracy, and this is called the Regional Bilingual Education Resource Network, or RBERN. And you can see from the color-coded map on the screen that we have 7 different RBERNs plus a statewide language RBERN. And each of these RBERNs has 1 or more dedicated individuals who work with schools in their region to support the Seal of Biliteracy. So I encourage you to locate which of the RBERNs would be for your particular district. And these are actually linked, so you can click on them to get contact information. Now, Christina and I have also put our contact information on this last slide, which again, we will email to you should you have any questions about the Seal of Biliteracy. Christina's a great resource, especially to talk about how she grew her program, how she started it up from square one. I can help you with any kinds of generic questions relative to programming and implementation. And we do want to say one more time, if you are a New York City district school, there is a special process that you will need to know about in order to offer the Seal of Biliteracy. And the contact information for you is DML, as in the Division of Multilingual Learners, at schools.nysc.gov. And with that, we want to thank you for coming today.